In this video today, we're going to talk about the power of keeping things simple. Welcome back to another video. My name is Dom and I help people to step into their truth and power. The power of keeping things simple. That's what we're going to talk about today. You know, a number of years ago, I found that my life fell into a place of everything feeling so complicated. Relationships were complicated. My job was complicated. I worked in a very complex poly-platform IT environment. And on a good day, I had a challenging 1 hour, 15-minute commute each way to work on a good day. During that time, I lived in a 4-bedroom home on a 3rd-acre property. I owned 3 cars. I had a motorcycle. I had lots of stuff that filled that home and property. At the time, there was a part of me that believed to experience a level of happiness, I needed all that stuff. But all that changed after I went through my divorce. In that experience, I was forced to get rid of a lot of things, because I knew I was going to be moving into a smaller home, half the size. So I had to get rid of clothes. In fact, I used a rule in the process of getting rid of clothes that if I haven't worn it in the last 5 years, I got rid of it. Same thing for home furnishings. An entire garden shed of stuff, tools, my motorcycle. I sold things, I gave things away, and I threw a lot of stuff out. By the time I moved into my new smaller home, I had really only the basics, and much of what I had was old. My bedroom furniture was falling apart. It was old. My sofa was 20 years old. I didn't have a kitchen table. I didn't have beds for the boys or dresser drawers for them. I didn't have storage for their toys. I didn't subscribe to cable TV because I couldn't afford it. And I had a very cheap pay-as-you-go cell phone. At this point in my life, I had felt like a big reset button was being hit on my life, and that the old life was being leveled, in a sense, so that I could start over new again or fresh. When I was going through that, it was so hard to let go of some of those things. But in the experience, it was also the first time in my life where I was learning how to become unattached to material things. Wasn't too long after that, I then had to learn how to become unattached with certain people too. Facing judgment from some, I had to let go of the relationships. I know that they were comfortable with the old version of me, but I was evolving into a different person because of the experiences I was having. And so staying in those relationships felt like I was trying to fit into old clothes that didn't fit anymore. So I had to just release and let go of the relationships. I had to let go of the need of trying to fit in where I wasn't fitting in anymore. It became a time where I really started taking on living more simply. I stopped watching so much TV. I began reading a lot more. I spent time being more present, playing with my boys, and less time doing. We played games. We played cards together. Nerf gun wars became a usual thing to do when they were here with me. Because I live in a condo, I didn't need to take care of a lawn anymore. I didn't have to clean gutters and rake leaves and care for the outside of a 4-bedroom home. I didn't have my motorcycle to take care of, so I didn't need to deal with that. Life at home became much more simple. Not having so much meant that I didn't have a lot of clutter. And I learned that I don't like living in clutter. So I tried to keep the main living areas of my home as clutter-free as possible. Clutter feels like environmental chaos to me. And to me, having a cluttered house is a reflection of an outer reality of what I'm living that also involves having a more cluttered mind too. I don't want any of that anymore. Interestingly enough, the work I did was still very complex, working in corporate IT. The computer systems that I worked on were very complex. The vendor contracts I was responsible for managing were very complex. In fact, the main contract of one of them, it was a $75 million contract, fit into 2 5-inch binders when it was printed out. It was insane. The work was often a nightmare because everything was so complex to manage. It was the one area of my life I could not easily simplify. And it was one of the main reasons why I wound up disliking my job so much over time. I started to then create a plan B for my career. And in the middle of plan B, of training for it, I lost that job without severance. And at that point, I had a choice to make. Do I find another IT job, or do I jump right into coaching? I went on some IT job interviews, and every time I went, I felt this knot in my stomach. It's like I could see and feel the complexity inside of these opportunities. It was like stepping back into the old version of myself that I hated. It was like putting on those old clothes that didn't fit anymore. When my heart, what it really wanted to do was let go of that and start new in where I was being led. I had some friends tell me I'm crazy. After 30 years in IT, I'm in the peak earning years of my career. I'm crazy to throw all of that away. But there was a part of me inside that just knew if I did this, if I went through working an IT job full time, I would be absolutely miserable. I didn't want to live in that dread of a job with so much responsibility and complexity again. Moving into the new career, I've intentionally hit the simple button. I strive to keep things simple. I don't have a need to have things. What I want now are experiences. I would much rather give and receive an experience for a nice dinner out to connect with friends than a material gift. I'd rather have an amazing massage or spa experience than the latest new electronic must-have gadget, which eventually only becomes clutter anyhow, right? I've learned in the process of letting go and living more simply that there are some amazing benefits. Some of the benefits of living simple is a life where I get to have less stress and more ease and flow to experience my life because it's simple. I get to experience more peace and more joy because things are simple. I get to experience living more presently because life is more simple. I experience more space between my thoughts because things are more simple. I get to experience more freedom because I'm not attached to things. I have more free time and I'm free of concern and worries. I get to do more of what I want to do, when I want to do it, and the way that I want to do it. And in that, I've gained the freedom of not having to keep up with the Joneses. And I've experienced that when I'm unattached to material things, I can give more easily, which then creates space for something new and exciting to come in and enter. I am more acutely aware of who I am becoming in relationship to the things I am accumulating in my life. If it's no longer serving me, I look to give it away or get rid of it. I've learned the hard way, unfortunately, that attachment to our things brings more resistance into my life. And I don't know about you, I don't want more resistance. And complexity too. Complexity is the thief of joy. I don't want more resistance. I don't want more complexity. What I want is more freedom. I want more joy. I want more peace of mind. As much of it as I can get. And that is who I am choosing to be. Our identity, our being, is a combination of how we think, how we feel, and how we act. Thinking and solving complex computer problems is not what I want to be doing. Feeling stressed and worried about how things will turn out is not how I want to be feeling. And trying to control how everything is going to go down is not how I want to be acting. And when I'm attached to things, material things, a career, or even some people, those are the things that begin to happen. I don't want that kind of lifestyle anymore. And so over the past number of years, I've been moving myself away from that culture-scape lifestyle of having more and more. I believe it's one of the big reasons why the past 3 years have been the best years of my life, because I've tapped into the power of keeping everything as simple as possible. And that is the benefit and power of keeping things simple. And so I'm inviting you to do the same. Try it. Try it for just one area of your life. Maybe start with a closet in your home that's all cluttered. Maybe go through your dresser drawers and give away some old clothes that you haven't worn in the last 5 years. Go through your kitchen cabinets. Some of you may be shocked at what you'll find in them. Seriously, I am not kidding you. To introduce simple, start simple. Focus on just one thing and don't start the next until you've completed the first. Keep it simple. And so I'm curious, what things are you attached to that are creating more complexity or stress in your life? What are you ready to let go of? And what sounds most appealing to you about keeping things simple in your life? Share in the comments below because I want to be able to support and encourage you in whatever way I can. And if this video is speaking to you on any level, please pay it forward by sharing it with just one other person who you think might benefit from this information. And of course, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and be sure to hit that bell button when you do so that you're notified when I release new content. I'm going to be having a lot more content very similar to this in the coming weeks. And so until I connect with you again for my next video, stay well, stay healthy, and stay empowered.